Hello, everybody, and welcome to the review of the 100 girlfriends who really love you. Now, let me cut off with a little introduction, shall we? Okay, let's start with the big old exposition. How many of you love Resident Evil? How many of you have played a Resident Evil game? Doesn't have to be in order, but how many of you played a Resident Evil game? Whether it's GameCube, PlayStation, VR. How many of you wanted Resident Evil 4 to win Game of the Year? And how many of you love the 100 girlfriends who really love you? This. I brought it up because Resident Evil has been one of the greatest video game series of all. It's up there with the greats of Uncharted, the Ratchet and Clank series, The Last of Us, when it comes to series. Now, there are a few Resident Evil games that had like its ups and downs, but Resident Evil as a whole kept the story going. And characters we know in Resident Evil, the Leons of the world, Chris Redfield, Claire Redfield, Jill Valentine, Albert Wesker, Sherry Birkin, I can name a lot of Resident Evil characters, Rebecca Chambers. I can see how I'm going on and on. The reason I brought it up is because when it comes to fans of the Resident Evil franchise, we're bound to watch this episode of the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. And you know how in the jab we call it Biohazard? No, we ain't. We're calling it Kiss Biohazard. In this episode, it's so rejuvenating to see this show. And before I do my review, can I say one thing? To the producer of this show and the manga artist of this series, I would love to see y'all at Anime NYC or Anime Expo and Anime Boston, because if y'all go to one of those places, I gotta shake your hand and say he's the GOAT of harems, because he made a series that has a lot of references, and they never disappoint us. So without further ado, let's get right to the review of the 100 girlfriends who really love you, because this is like see, now we're on episode 8, and now we're in the verge of the Kiss Biohazard. Now, you're talking about Resident Evil fans like ourselves. We're glued by how we see this. So first off, to find the cure, it's like, looking at this, kind of reminiscent of how there's the virus and there's the antivirus. If you watch classic Resident Evil movies, there's the virus, the T-virus, and there's the antivirus. Okay, so Kurisu and Rentaro are trying to find a cure for them, They're trying to find a cure. As they scurrying down, they got a potion that literally burned the vice principal's face. That old sag looking ass burned her face. And she ran like, you talk about Resident Evil references. She was the vice principal crawling through walls was like the liquor. You guys know the liquor back in those classic Resident Evil games? It's slimy, long creatures and that long tongue sticking out. You might have seen it from the first Resident Evil movie and all that stuff. You get what I'm saying? That was so creepy. And I like how the 4 other girls, was all like running around and talking zombie. Like, you know how zombies are like, but in this one, it's like kiss, kiss, kissy, kissy, kiss, 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 kissy, kissy, kiss, 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 kiss. They're communicating through the words of kissing. That was funny. So, as it got separated, here comes Shizuka. Oh my God, I love Shizuka so much as a kissing zombie. I mean, again, references. Fast zombies and they're slow zombies. And Shizuka's a slow zombie. Okay, I get that. And then to have her fall down, because she's a cute, innocent. She's so cute. I'm sorry. And then Rentaro just blindly looking at this like, wait, oh, that's a kiss zombie. Took her to the hospital room, and the scene is so fucking hot. I mean, the fan service went in. Shizuka kissing Rentaro in the bed. The hospital. In the nurse's office. So fucking fan service. It was so fan service. I'm like, oh my God. Not like fan service. I'm talking about like the way how they were kissing and the body movements that Shizuka was doing. Oh my God, that was so good. And then Rentaro hanged him. Shizuka on the hanger, and he said, "Hang in there, get it?" And she's like, "Kiss, kiss, kiss." Now, okay, let's cut the elephant in the room here. Yuri. You know, I love Yuri animes as much as the next guy. Citrus, Citrus, one of the greatest, if not the greatest Yuri anime of all time. Bloom Into You, Yuri, Adachi the Shirimura. You know, it's so many good. Sakura Trick. So many. Oh, even the other one. Did I say Bloom Into You? Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said that. I said that. But my point is, Yuri animes has always been declining and up and down because no one didn't know about the Yuriness. Like the Yuri love is not as high depth as it is. But in this one, the kiss went in. You got these two girls. You got the first two girls, the Thick and Tsundere. I call them the Thick and Tsundere. I mean, I know y'all go by code names or the real names, but I go by Thick and Tsundere. They're going at it just like reminiscent from the first episode, and then they just got a kiss. They just kissed like Rintaro, smooth as ever, got them to kissing. This is why he's the GOAT. This is why characters like him, I want to be like him. We can't lie to ourselves. Have you ever wanted to be in his shoes? You guys, like he's the GOAT of harems. The GOAT. He forces those two girls to kiss, and we got a damn good Yuri. We got a damn good Yuri love. A damn good Yuri action, if you know what I mean. Okay? And the kissing never stops. Okay, now, Nano. Can we say Nano has done a lot of references? I mean, Nano is pretty good at references. I mean, you're talking about The Shining. Who watched The Shining? Has anybody remember The Shining? Go watch that. It's one of the best horror movies ever. It's that reference that what Johnny Cage did in Mortal Kombat. When The Shining's like, here's Johnny. And that's what Nano did. Now, hold on. So you got Kirisu and Rintaro stuck in a locker room. Stuck in a locker room, trying to find a cure, trying to split up. You know, it's kind of like, she's cute and all but when she's tall, like, damn, she looks freaking hot. And you cannot lie. You cannot lie. I mean, it's okay. First of all, it's sad that, you know, she's the only person in the chemistry club because of her drugs. I get it. It's an addiction. But for curious' sake, to make these type of antidotes and drugs, and nobody didn't want to be around her because she makes all these things that could hurt a person. I mean, yeah, I get it. But back to this, Rintaro tried to get him back. I mean, tried to lure Nano away, and it worked, even though Kirisu was all tied up. Funny thing about it was, you're talking again. Not only there was a Resident Evil references, Pokemon reference, and the Shining reference, but when Nano kissed Rintaro, it was like the ending credits. Like, oh, this is like game over. It's like game over. You know how like in the old Resident Evil games where it's like that it says game over? That's what it was. So the kissing happened, and you got this overshadowed ending credits. Like, oh God, the show's over? I mean, oh God, the death ended. Okay, game over. It was so funny. And then all of a sudden, after everything that went down, when Kirisu found the cure to make all of this work, not only got them back together, not only got to cure them, but I like how the first two girls didn't want to pretend like nothing happened, even though we know they kissed. I like how they just pretended. Now, as for her sake, you know, I do like her when she said, I love, at the end when she said, I really, 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 really love drugs and you. So that's kind of like, yeah. So at the end when it says, congratulations. You know, it's kind of like Super Smash Brothers. You know how you play Super Smash Brothers when you play a story mode or anything? It says, congratulations. And that's what it was. So now that you got 5 girls right now, it's safe to say, I'm sorry, what did I say? Yeah, now that you got 5 girls, it's safe to say that where we at now, moving forward to the first episode, moving forward from this to this one, and then with a little more episodes, I can tell you right now where we're going to get at, and y'all not going to like it. Y'all not going to like it when that time comes. I kid you not. But overall, this show, I'm sorry, this episode is a 10 out of 10 because look what it gave us. More Yuriness. I mean, it gave us a Yuri moment for everyone to remember. Resident Evil references that we all love. We all love Resident Evil. A Resident Evil reference. A freaking Pokemon reference. And the Shining reference. Yo, from the creator of this series, I gotta say, y'all doing a hell of a good job. And I like how they on point with this series. I like how they on point with the series as it follows. This is really a good show. This show needs to be recommended for all shows. I'm sorry. This is the best show of the fall. Number one. Of all the other shows that's out right now, this is number one. I'm sorry. And for all y'all out there who think it's not, go watch it. I kid you not. If you into a show that is a harem with a lot of references and breaking the fourth wall and with like these overshadowing credits or whatnot, go watch the 100 Girlfriends because this show is lit. But anyway, this was a fantastic episode, giving us what we wanted. And every episode is a 10 out of 10. I have never been this. There's not one episode that's been disappointed or anything. This was a fantastic episode. So for this show, for this episode, it's like if you love Resident Evil, this is the one for you. So I look forward for next week's episode of the 100 Girlfriends. Really, really love you, and I'm sure you will.